The Batman is not only one of the greatest movies of the decade, but one of the greatest movies of all time. Today, it's re-releasing in theaters with a new popcorn bucket and an exclusive look at the new Penguin series. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the new footage, reviewing the limited edition Batsignal Bucket, taking you with me to the IMAX re-release, and at the end, bringing back the fan theory segment and reacting to some of your guys' predictions for the Batman Part 2 and the Penguin series. Before we get into it, over 98% of you guys who watch these videos aren't yet subscribed. So if you don't want to miss out on more, hit that button. And there's so much to cover in this video, so timestamps will be linked in the description down below. But don't waste any more time, let's get right into it. All right, guys, we made it to AMC. We're gonna get inside, get this popcorn bucket, rewatch this movie, and give you guys a review. Let's do it. I see the popcorn bucket. Can I have one of the Batman popcorn buckets, and then can I have two of the cups?
Yeah, you're paying for the cups singularly and then the cup.
Yes, sir. Dude, it's $60, bro. Dude, that was $60, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, so we got the popcorn bucket. I'm gonna open it up. I don't think it comes with the batteries, to be honest. If it does, that'd be great. I don't think it does. Hold on. Oh, it does. Holy shit. Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. Obviously, there's a better view in my room, but yeah, this is super cool. I'm gonna fill it up with popcorn really quick. Close it up. This is what it looks like with the popcorn in it. I would say normally for a popcorn bucket like this, like a decal of the Batsignal, it would be like $200, $300 if it was metal, right? This is plastic, so obviously it's a little cheaper made. It's a little finicky, but it's not the best thing in the world. It has enough detail though. For a popcorn bucket that was like $35, I think it's completely worth it if an AMC near you still has it. We also got these cups. The cups in themselves I think are $11, so I got the combo for $44, I believe. This is what the cup looks like. I mean, it's cool and all. I got it just because since I'm getting this, I feel like I might as well get the combo. I would say this is a win though. This is gonna make an amazing piece in my collection. It's great, it's awesome. I've rewatched the movie and seen the exclusive footage from the Penguin, so here's everything you need to know. We got a 5-minute and 15-second sizzle reel of basically Colin Farrell, Matt Reeves, and a bunch of the creative team behind the Penguin series talking about why this show even exists, the necessity of it in the Batman universe, and just more character depth things on Oz himself. I can't just put in the whole video, so I'll be putting clips in it along with my description. But again, they preface it with why this show is so important to this universe.
Hi, I'm Colin Farrell. You just saw me in The Batman. Keep watching now to learn the inspiration for my upcoming new series, The Penguin.
And then Reeves does go ahead and confirm some timeline things that we pretty much already knew. This does take place 1 week after the Batman.
I really wanted the story to begin the week after the movie, where the Penguin, who is completely underestimated, grabs for power in this power vacuum.
But my favorite thing about this entire sizzle reel was how Colin Farrell describes the difference between the worlds that the Batman explores and the Penguin explores. Obviously, they're in the same exact Gotham, but they're trying to explore different sides of this world. And yes, the Batman did dive into the mob world, but not on a thematic level.
It's exploring a very different world, whereas the Batman lived in the upper echelons of the social structure of Gotham. This is down in the gutter.
And I feel like I'm not alone when I say this, but every single time Matt Reeves talks about anything Batman related, it gives me an out-of-body feeling because he just loves the character, he loves the world, he loves the comics, and you can tell. This was the most interesting thing he said in the entirety of the sizzle reel, saying he describes it as a dark American dream story. I've never heard that description for any Batman project, let alone any comic book project in general. To me, and comment if you think I'm wrong on this one, but it feels like this will be the last super mob related big overall storyline in the universe of the Batman epic crime saga.
Dylan and I were very excited about how we could embody this rise to power of Oz in this battle of wills and who is going to come out on top.
I'm not 100% sure if they'll cap off all the Falcone storylines in this series because obviously we're going to be introduced to the daughter, the son, etc. But it seems like the main use for the Falcone kids is to just expand the mob world and nothing more than that. Anyways, before we get into more updates and fan theories, I did want to quickly note while I was watching the movie, Matt Reeves did tweet about the Batman Part 2, which is wild. Someone tweeted at him saying, "How's everything going with the Batman 2? Matt Reeves responded, "We are working away right now. Really excited. Just taking a short break to see the Bat fun." Now that we've gone through all the footage, we did get an exciting update for the script from one of the co-writers, Mattinson Tomlin. This article from Screen Rant titled "The Batman 2 Gets Exciting Script and Filming Update from DC Movies Co-Writer." We find out at least a few more details about the Batman 2. To be honest, we've been living off of crumbs recently, so really anything will do. But according to Screen Rant, in an interview with Mattinson Tomlin about his new series turning Terminator Zero for Netflix, Manson Tomlin said, "It's shooting next year. We're gearing up, and I will say that the bar just couldn't be higher. It's the sequel to the first one, but also Matt is like no other. In the 5 years now that I've been working with him as closely as I have, I've tried to absorb as much as humanly possible from him, and I'm so grateful for the time that I get to spend with him because he is a true artist who is operating in a world where sometimes art doesn't get to flourish, and he's trying to make something that really matters. So to be able to just be on that ride and be part of that process, it's pretty unbelievable, pretty tremendous. I'm psyched for the movie." We'll get into fan theories in just a second here, obviously, but with this specifically, I feel like the main reason it's taken so long and why Manson Tomlin is talking about this creative process is just because of that overhaul going on at DC Studios. James Gunn is doing a new Superman, a new Batman, a new Wonder Woman, a whole new DC universe, whereas Matt Reeves is still trying to focus on this singular world. And obviously they can't have too many things coinciding with the James Gunn universe, some of those things being villains, characters, Batfamily things, storylines that they want to tell. Matt Reeves was first, but at the end of the day, the overall James Gunn universe, story-wise, is probably the priority over at Warner Brothers right now. But okay, now let's get into some of these fan theories. I went on Reddit, scoured one of my favorite subreddits of all time, r/the Batman film, and there's so much to talk about. I don't know how many I'll be able to include in this video, but I want to start off with something related to the Penguin itself because that does come out in just a few weeks here, and this guy says if the Batman has a cameo in the Penguin, you guys can read the rest of this, of course, but to me personally, I actually completely agree with everything that this guy is saying. I genuinely do think that seeing Batman from a villain's perspective, because obviously the Penguin is a show about the Penguin, the underground world, the grab for power after the flooding, after martial law is in effect, who can rise to the top? I find that concept to be so cool, and having a show from the perspective of not only like the underground of Gotham, but one of the underdog villains, the Penguin, I think having Batman as such a menacing figure would be really cool. I think there's two types of cameos we should get, or one of the other would do for me. We either have Batman from a villainous point of view. We have Batman from, he's threatening our main protagonist, who is the Penguin, who's not necessarily a good guy. No one's saying he's a good guy, but he's threatening our main protagonist of the series, which would be such a unique look at the Batman. And I also don't think that would be a bad look because we've seen both sides of the coin with Batman. Not necessarily like Bruce Wayne Batman, but more so the Batman that can get his hands dirty, and even Jim Gordon had to go and stop him from almost killing someone. But also the more stoic Batman. I mean, this is such an early version of Batman that his line is a little bit blurred, which again, I think would be really cool to see a villainous point of view in the Penguin series. Anyways, the next post, do you think Batman should get a new suit in the next film? I personally think it could just be updated, like a little less homemade, looking a little more comic accurate, except with the cape, but I don't think he should get a whole new suit as this one has become so iconic. Honestly, I'm at a bit of a crossroads here because this suit is probably my favorite Batman suit of all time, and I think every single piece is perfect, and I think it just fits with his Batman. But at the end of the day, it also is a comic book movie. It's a superhero film. There has to be some tweaks to the suit. Like even Deadpool doesn't necessarily have a new suit every single movie, but there's always little upgrades to make action figures and hot toys and stuff like that. So I think this Batman suit will probably stay nearly the same. They'll probably add inherent gadgets to the suit, either slim it down or possibly just make it a more sleeker version of the rugged one we already have. And I feel like making it super rugged to a little less rugged to sleek and then sleekest throughout the entire trilogy, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Again, it being homemade is why it's so rugged at this point in time. So there's a lot of potential. I don't necessarily think they need to make massive changes though. And if they make huge changes, I would kind of be disappointed because I really do like this Batsuit. This next post, should they show what Joker did and how he got put in Arkham Asylum or leave it unexplained? There's a couple of Joker posts I actually want to go through here just because that Arkham Asylum show apparently isn't happening anymore, which I thought Joker was going to be a pretty big part of. And I don't really think they're going to show Joker in Arkham Asylum as a blatant thing. We don't know who the villain's going to be for the second film yet. I just don't really know how they're going to use the Joker. It really doesn't make sense to me. As someone who really likes the Barry Keoghan version of Joker that we've seen so far, and just the deleted scene, the little part of the film. I've seen this movie twice in the last week of recording this film, once in theaters and once at home because I forgot that I was watching it later that week. But both times I've been like, yeah, this Joker has a lot of potential, but he's already so based in this world. There's already so much like apparent lore about this character. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I think they shouldn't go out of their way to explain it in like the next movie if he's not the main villain. Wait until he is somewhat of a main villain. Wait until he has a way bigger role in the story, and then use this mysterious aspect of him and move forward. I have a couple more Joker ones just because I find them a little bit interesting. This post says, now that so much time has passed, I'm no longer excited for the Joker as we saw him in the movie. You guys can read the whole post for yourself, but in summary, he's basically saying that he wants a very classic Joker, like the way he talks, the way he looks, all of that kind of stuff, because obviously we had Heath Ledger, but we haven't really had anything since then. I disagree with that part in that I don't really necessarily need a classic, super comic-y Joker, but I will say, since time has passed, I mean, it's been two and a half years since the Batman has been out, and I am drastically less interested in that world's Joker. Obviously, it's just because we haven't really seen him in action, and that's not really Matt Reeves' fault. He just hasn't had time to make another fucking movie. I think the Arkham Asylum show kind of getting canned to an extent is where a lot of my worry for this Joker comes in, is because I was really excited to see an Arkham Asylum series flesh out this world, make it really interesting, and not necessarily, because it was probably going to come after the Batman Part 2 anyway. It's not like it was going to make the Batman Part 2 itself much more in-depth and more exciting for the overall world, but kind of going into that third movie, I wanted something to make this world feel like it had a lot more depth, and Joker was one of those big things because he is such an iconic villain. It's not necessarily that I disagree with the design or anything like that, which we'll talk about in the next post. It's just that all of my excitement for him is dying down because it feels like we're just going to be getting less and less of him as this universe moves on. And the final Joker post I want to talk about is this post where this guy says, could Matt Reeves retcon his own Joker? So the title probably doesn't articulate it well, but do you think the public nature of the deleted scene release, Reeves universe, numerous interviews, whatever, talking about the Joker, do we think the final product may appear slightly different from what we got? There's a couple things with this. Technically, that deleted scene isn't canon because anything that's not in the movie isn't canon, but Matt Reeves in multiple interviews, like this post said, has talked about how he has this disease, how he fell into the chemicals and stuff like that. And that is such a cool backstory for a Joker, in my opinion, especially a Joker that's already set. Now, in terms of the retcon, though, I definitely think that they will tweak the design as they go. We obviously saw like the really thin hair, the face prosthetics and all this kind of stuff. We saw that in the original movie at the very end when he's talking to Riddler. But the whole like mouth prosthetic and the side of the face and the actual like thinning green hair, technically that's not in any movie yet. That's not a main universe thing just yet. So they could change up the design. I think they'll keep the backstory, keep the general look of him, but maybe they'll go a little bit less extreme on the prosthetics. That's if we even get Joker as a main player in this universe, which I don't know if we will. But the final post is a little bit of a long one, so you guys can read it for yourself. But the title is Pattinson as DCU Batman. This kind of goes through the little bit of a history with the DC Universe, the Penguin series, all of this Warner Brothers Discovery merger stuff, the whole James Gunn thing. We've all heard and seen all of this stuff before. But it's interesting because James Gunn actually liked a comment from someone, I believe it was on Threads, and they said, what do you think of all the fan art that's coming out pairing your Superman with Matt's Batman? Dumb question, I know, but it's been shocking how viral it's been getting. Okay, on a baseline, I don't want them to touch the Matt Reeves Batman universe, but I think that also means that they won't be doing something super crazy, super unique in the James Gunn universe. On a serious note, though, I think the best way to go about it would be have a Batman in the DC universe, go for it. That's James Gunn's Batman, but keep Matt Reeves as by himself. And yeah, I want 7 to 20 Batman Matt Reeves movies, but I guess just limit it to your 3 or 4. Give us some series as well. Throw that in there. The epic crime saga, make it an actual saga. Take advantage of the fact that you have Max. Don't let the Penguin be the last one. Now, the biggest deciding factor between the two universes of Batman to me is what this post mentioned about the Batfamily, right? Which universe will be using it? I truly don't really know if Matt Reeves' universe could flourish with the whole Bat family, maybe just the Robin. But genuinely, I think the DC universe is much more fit for a Bat family because not only can you have Batman, but you can have Teen Titans, you can have a bunch of different characters, you have a whole fleshed out world, and that's where I think it could work the best. The DC universe is by miles going to be outliving the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Matt Reeves' epic crime saga will probably go on for a maximum of 7 to 10 years. We're already a movie in. We're going a TV show in at this point. We'll probably get 2 more movies and possibly 2 more TV shows, but really I'm only leading towards 1 more TV show if I'm being hopeful. There's so much more time for the DC universe, especially because there's way more people helming it. The Batman universe is just Matt Reeves and then a bunch of directors that handle the shows, but that's really it. So I think the DC universe is going to be doing its own thing. I think Matt Reeves will get his 3 movies done, couple of TV shows, and then I think he's out of here with Batman. But guys, that wraps up this video. I had a lot of fun making this one. It's been so long since I've made the Batman related content, and I know we're living off of crumbs, but man, am I excited for the Penguin and the Batman part 2. As always, let me know your theories, comments, questions, anything you want to talk about. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.